Hi there, it's Chris. Thank you for joining me today. And today I'm going to talk about a precious metal, gold. It may be the metal of the sun, but silver is the metal of the moon. And just like gold, it's been used as money for thousands of years. It was believed to have magical properties, and there's a rich and varied mythological, religious and spiritual history in nearly all cultures throughout the world involving silver. It's always been highly valued. A bullet cast from silver is one of the few weapons effective against a werewolf, witch or vampire. Even in modern day sci-fi, the Cybermen in Doctor Who were vulnerable to this metal. It's mentioned in the Bible 320 times. In the time of Jesus, 1 silver denarius was the standard rate of pay for a day's labour. That's 3.9 grams of silver for a day's work. And Jesus was betrayed by Judas for just 30 pieces of silver. And people argue exactly what type of silver coin was used, but the weight in silver is estimated to be between 100 and 400 grams. That's between 40 and 170 pounds in today's money. In the UK, silver coins known as sterlings were issued in the Saxon kingdoms. 240 of them minted from £1 in weight of silver. That's 450 grams thereabouts. This started between 757 to 796, and in 1158 the standard purity of silver was introduced at a purity of 92.5%, 925 silver. And 925 silver coins were minted at this purity until 1919. In 1920, the silver content in silver coins was changed to just 50%. And then in 1947, they were completely replaced with copper and nickel. A similar thing happened during the decline of the Roman Empire. They too debased the valuable silver coins and used copper coins that were meant to have an equal value to the silver ones they replaced. It didn't work for them. Since 1971, our money's been backed by nothing, and it's worth what they tell us it's worth, and you can guarantee it'll be worth less and less as time goes on. Unlike silver. Silver, it's generally known for its use in coins, silverware and jewellery, but the majority of silver is used for industrial use. Of all the metals, silver is the best thermal and the best electrical conductor we have, and it's also the resistant to corrosion and oxidation. It's non-toxic and antimicrobial. And here are just a few of the uses that we have for silver. A layer of silver helps to prolong the life of a DVD due to silver's resistance to pitting and tarnishing. It can be used in deodorant. It prevents the growth of bacteria, delaying the onset of body odour. It can be used in long life batteries. It's a bit more expensive, a lot more expensive than lithium or mercury, but the batteries last 40% longer. So they tend to be used for things like hearing aids, that type of thing. Silver's a key component to many engine types, including jet engines. It's used in water purification, the ceramic filters that are coated with colloidal silver, helping to bring clean water to developing countries. It's used in the production process of some plastics. It can be used in wood preservation instead of the toxic arsenic. And it's used in solar panels. A typical 3 by 5 foot panel will contain up to 20 grams of silver. And this one's a bit surprising, I didn't really know about this, but it's used in food garnishing. It's more popular in Asia to garnish sweets and delicacies in a thin layer of silver foil. And it's estimated that they use 30 to 250 tons of silver, which is just eaten every year. They call it vark. So let's have a look at the numbers to do with silver then. There's approximately 53.15 billion ounces of above ground silver. I'm looking at today's population. That means there's less than 7 ounces per person. It's estimated that there are between 8 and 20 ounces of silver to gold. Yet the current price of gold is £1,137 and silver just over 13. it gives you a ratio of approximately 86 to 1. So that's unreal. 86 ounces of silver to 1 ounce of gold. Since 1960, the average ratio in cost between gold and silver has been 51, which today would make silver worth £22.31 should it get to that average. In 1968, the ratio was 18.29. That would make silver worth £62.22 today should it reach that ratio again. The average house since 1960 in silver ounces has cost 13,872, which would make silver worth today £16.93 should the amount of ounces to buy a house get to the average. In 1980 though, the average house cost 2,582 ounces, with an average house costing just over 234,000 today. That could make silver worth £90.95 in today's money should silver hit that 1980 high. Imagine if you bought 2,582 ounces of silver today, that would cost £33,950. But should history repeat itself, which it often does, then you'd have an average house for that amount of money. You may have to wait a few years, but like I say, history does repeat quite often. But silver isn't just about the numbers though, it's also a piece of art. It's very beautiful. If you look at some of the beautiful coins that I have here, I mean, you take a look at it for yourself, you'll see just how beautiful they are. I mean, who wouldn't want to own a little piece of art? I know I do. I mean, to conclude, I think with the world's growing population and wages being suppressed thanks to globalization, I think we should all own a little bit of silver. We may well be better off at the moment in terms of what we can buy. Things like food and clothing, technology have never been cheaper. But they're all used up, and they all end up thrown away in the bin eventually. The best things to own are the factories, the businesses, land or property. But if you don't have the money for such things, then silver is the very next best thing. At least I think. Thank you for joining me today. Alright. Bye bye.